Have you ever tried to figure out California's tip laws? It feels like wading through mud sometimes, right?
Mm.
You think you know the rules, but then all these little details.
Absolutely. It's amazing how nuanced these regulations actually are. They often trip up even experienced business owners or employees just trying to understand their rights.
Okay, so today, let's dive into it. We're looking at California tip laws based on the insights you listeners have shared. The goal here is simple. Cut through the noise, get clear on who gets what with tips in California. Sound good?
Let's do it.
All right, first big topic from the sources. Managers. In California, they cannot take tips. Like, at all.
Yeah, that's a really hard line in the law.
Even if they're jumping in, helping out on the floor during a crazy rush.
Doesn't matter. The law is crystal clear if your management tips are off limits.
So, okay, who is a manager then? Is it just the title?
Good question. It's not just the title, no. It's about authority.
Yeah.
If you can hire, fire, or, direct staff significantly, you're management under this law. And this is pretty absolute. It means businesses have to be really careful about job roles. Managers helping out, fine. Managers taking tips, that's a big no-no. Leads to wage claims, penalties. It's serious stuff.
Yeah.
Those tips belong 100% to the employees earning them. No exceptions for supervisors.
Okay, that seems clear, if strict. But here's something that gets really confusing, and you flagged this from the sources. Mandatory service charges. Like the automatic 18% added to the bill. People just assume that's a tip, right?
Right. That's probably one of the biggest misconceptions out there. Our sources really hammer this point home. For that service charge to legally count as a tip, two things must happen.
Okay, what are they?
First, the customer has to know, be clearly told it's going directly to the staff. Transparency is key. And second, and this is crucial, that charge has to be included when calculating the employee's overtime pay.
Ah, okay. So it affects their regular rate of pay.
Exactly. If either of those isn't met, it's not legally a tip.
And if it's not a tip, then what is it?
Then it's just business revenue. The employer can basically do whatever they want with it.
Yeah.
Which, can cause a lot of confusion for customers and staff who thought it was a gratuity.
Wow, okay. That's a massive difference. So knowing that, how does this play into tip pooling? Can businesses just lump all tips together?
Well, tip pooling is allowed in California. But again, there are rules, strict ones.
Who can be in the pool?
The sources say it's only for employees who are actually part of the chain of service, people who directly contribute to the customer's experience.
So like servers, bussers, bartenders.
Yeah, exactly. Those frontline roles. And interestingly, sometimes cooks can be included if they're directly involved in that service chain. But crucially, like we said before, managers, absolutely out.
Right, no managers.
And another point. Everyone in the pool must be earning at least the full minimum wage already. It's all designed to prevent what's called tip skimming.
Tip skimming. That's basically management taking a cut illegally.
Precisely. Taking any portion of tips meant for those service employees. It's a major legal focus area.
Got it. Okay, one last detail from your sources, and this one might surprise some folks, especially now with cards being used for almost everything. Credit card fees.
Ah, yes, the processing fees.
Can an employer deduct those fees from the tip amount before giving it to the employee?
Nope, absolutely not. The sources are very clear here, unequivocal really. If a customer leaves a tip on a credit card, the employer has to give the full amount of that tip to the employee.
So if the tip is $10, the employee gets $10, even if the credit card company charged the restaurant, say, 30 cents to process it.
Exactly right. The employer eats that processing cost. It's considered a cost of doing business, not something to be passed on to the employee's tip.
So pulling this all together, what's the main takeaway for you, the listener, whether you run a business or work in one, navigating these California tip laws? Well, it takes real attention to detail.
Yeah, the big picture message seems to be check your policies, train your staff properly on these rules, make sure everything lines up with the law, because getting it wrong can be really costly and, it erodes trust.
This deep dive really shows just how specific these rules are. It's not just about general fairness. It's about following very precise legal mandates.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? How often do these everyday things, like swiping a card or seeing a service charge, have these significant legal layers that most people just don't see? Not until there's a problem, anyway.
Definitely. So here's a thought to leave you with. Imagine if transparency about tipping practices, where the money goes, who's eligible, was just built right into payment systems for everyone to see. How might that kind of clarity change things? Could it boost fairness and understanding even more in the service industry down the road? Something to think about.